Okay, we're filming in an unorthodox location today, and by that I mean just a random beach. But it's not any random beach. This is Old Tesco Beach in Cornwall, and it's so beautiful here. It's so rocky. It feels inspiring just being here. And I walked around and I thought I just have to make a video here. I've been approaching my life in a way that I never have before recently, and it's choosing to listen to how I feel. And this might sound obvious, you know, if you're hungry, you eat food, or if you're tired, you go to sleep. But do you? Because we don't, right? We're in a system where it's common to ignore how we feel. Actually, it's encouraged to ignore how we feel. We have substances like caffeine and nicotine to help us do this in order to pursue what we think we should, as opposed to listening to what we feel like doing. And this goes hand in hand with choosing your path in life, choosing what areas of life you express yourself in, and whether you've been closed off because of your environment, because of people around you, whatever the reasons might be, or if you're able to listen to what you want from life and start to lean into that. And for the first time, I'm realizing I don't have to go all in on anything. I don't have to go all in on one single thing, because what I kept doing is putting all of this pressure on whatever the concept was, on whatever the business I wanted to build, whatever the hobby it was that I started, or exercise, or, you know, venture that I wanted to go down. I didn't say, let's just see how this goes. I said, this needs to satisfy every part of my life. It needs flexibility. It needs to be lucrative. It needs to make me feel embodied. I need to be connecting with people, but also I need to have the isolation, which is part of the flexibility. It's not to say that you can't have these things, but when you're trying to go into something and you stack all of these different needs onto it, it's almost like you're trying to start a relationship and saying they need to be this perfect, you know, non-human being, and not, because then what happens is you're living in a fantasy, right? You've ignored the fact that everyone is a human being. So already you're going to be let down from the expectations that you've set. And I've noticed the cycle I was in is a burnout cycle of understanding in a somatic way that I can do the things I set my mind to, right? I believe that people achieve clearly great things. And that meant I jumped from different idea to different idea to different idea, but I never sat and listened to what is it I truly want to do, right? What do I actually want to do with my life, with my time? Do you feel this way? What do you want to do with your life and with your time? We have so much external structure that's socially enforced that we think that's the norm. So many people are living their lives for when they retire, so they can finally live. Finally live your last few years? You know, time is the invaluable currency. It's not even a currency. Time is just invaluable, and what you choose to spend your time doing is the most important thing. Okay? And sometimes that's rest. We need to rest. It's part of regulation. Sometimes it's up-regulation, which to me is exercise, or making a video, or doing something where you're expressing yourself. Okay? But doing something that is not aligned with you for an outcome, a perceived outcome of the future, when you say, I'll get there one day, I will have this goal and then everything will be okay, or I'll achieve this thing and then I'll be fine, or when I find, whatever it is, you're placing your autonomy outside of now, outside of this moment. You're not letting yourself be embodied and live fully now. Because in the moment, when you're truly present, nothing is missing ever. And this took years of life experience for me to sit with and for it to sink in and to realize. Because as a thought, this seems insane. If you're sat there thinking, well, of course it's not, because I want these things. I've got a list of things I want. A list of things that when I have them, my life will begin, or I will feel, you know, better, happier, life will be easier. What I'm saying is, when you stop the process of thinking entirely, everything settles. You are just now. A way to frame this in a way that helped me understand this is death, is dying. If you imagine right now, suddenly you realize you're going to die, and this might not sink in if you're in a busy environment or whatever you're doing, it might not hit you, and maybe you've done this before, but if you're alone and you really sit with that and realize also the potential, you can just die at any moment. This is not an out there idea, this is how life works. It stops at any point. We don't get to decide. And within that moment of dying, you're not going to think, oh yeah, I wish I had a house, I wish I had that big house, or I wish I had that. Like, you're going to be dying. You'll be thinking, I am dying right now. You'll be struck so hard into the moment. And the thing is, this is what it takes for so many people. It takes people almost dying. This is what seems to be one of the most common things for them to wake up and say, what the fuck am I doing with my life? You know, almost actually dying to say, what am I doing? Why am I living this way? Why are you spending 80% of your time doing something that you don't want to do with your life? Okay? And no one's pretending it's easy. This is a video of some random person talking to you. I'm not saying it's easy to do, it's starting the process. Taking the steps to go in the direction where you can live in the way that's aligned with you. You know, you are truly a unique expression of the universe. You're part of everything. There is no separation. You're not inside the universe as a separate thing, human experiencing it. Okay, when you realize this truly, because that you cannot be separate if you're part of it. You are one of the whole. You are energy incarnate, whatever you want to call it. Things can change for you in a dramatic way, right? It's really waking up to the fact that there is only now. There has only ever been now. So make of that what you will. When I'm tying it back to myself, I've always known I meant to connect in a way that I was not allowing myself to, out of fear, right? Fear of being seen for who you truly are, fear of being capable. This is the crazy thing. We actually have the fear of things going right, you know, the fear of what if you do step into that version of yourself and everything actually pays off, because then you have to live up to it, right? Once you've expanded your horizons, they can never shrink again without you knowing the potential, you know. And this is a common one. A door, these doors are opened and you see, and then you can't unsee that. You can shut the door, you can pretend the door didn't exist, but you're pretending to yourself. There's no one else. There's truly no one else in your experience. What do I mean by this? So much of how you think about your reality isn't you. It's thoughts that you think other people might have, or projections onto other people and their ideas and societal ideas, right? When you really sink in with the fact it's only ever been you with yourself in your experience, how much of that has been perverted by what you've taken in externally, you can start to see clearer what it is that you want. And you can begin to slowly move in that direction which serves you, and therefore serves other people as well, and the people around you. Honestly, another thing it just becomes true is all of the simple sayings are the most true, and that's why they're simple. Yin and yang. Everything is yin and yang, right? Life is a paradox where everything is paradoxical. You can choose any example in life and it's paradoxical. You need to have one to have the other. You need to have the hardships to have the payoff. You need to feel the pressure and the strain of growth to have the relief of coming out of the growth, right? And actually embodying who you are. So yeah, I hope this video provoked some thoughts for you today. I didn't have a topic, so I went to my classic rambling thoughts that I have regularly, you know, and it's making this channel has been a great part of expansion for me, and accepting who I am, accepting the way I see things, and not blocking that because of what I think I should be like or what I think I should do. And you can't even blame that on other people. When I say that social expectations and other people's expectations, you can see it as a reason, but you can't blame that, because we are the ones that enforce it ourselves, right? We download it and then we reinforce it to ourselves and say, no, you can't do that. That's not something that we should do. You know, and accepting that I have always seen things in an existential way, and that's my philosophy and outlook on life, has been freeing a massive part of who I am, and accepting that part of who I am. So yeah, I appreciate you watching the video, and if you want to leave a comment, I'd really appreciate it. If you want to leave a comment, I'd really appreciate it. I would love to discuss with you. If you have any thoughts or feelings or just anything in general, let's let's discuss this experience that we're having. So yeah, and I'll see you again in another video. Take care. I wish you all the best.